El Olam, the everlasting God. That's what Abraham called God in Genesis chapter 21 when he was seeking a place of permanence and yet seemed that he could not find one. And I remind you something I said a few days ago. Abraham finally, by faith, began to look for a city whose foundation and builder is God. Why? Because there's nothing on this earth that's really permanent. But I want you to know Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. You can trust him. Now that's why we're getting to know him by his name. And that's why I'm doing the series on the names of God, because if there was ever a time in this crazy, mixed up, chaotic world, I believe that's coming to the end of times, it's today. Jesus could come back today. I sure trust you're ready. But in the meantime, before he does come back, he is a God who's revealed himself to us by his names, over 700 names and descriptions of God in the Bible. Why? Because he's such a great God, and he needs a lot of names for us to get to know him so we can put our trust in him. And we're looking at El Olam, the everlasting God, in Genesis chapter 21. We talked about yesterday how that we think in terms of time and space. And in the illustration, of course, God is the created being. God created time. He's outside of time. Now, another thing that I think would help us to understand a little bit about what it means that God is eternal and we're not. And this is this idea that God is outside the box of time. He's outside the box of space. Let's say that right here in this office, I was born in this office and it has no windows on it. And as I live in this little room here, and I never leave this room, and I get to be 5 years old, 10 years old, 20 years old, and all I know is the confines of this room. I have no idea what's outside of this room. And somebody eventually comes into this room one day and begins to speak of things that, wow, they're a mystery to me. They tell me about the sky. And I go, well, what do you mean, sky? I've never heard of that. And they say, oh, that's that blue expanse way up there, and stars are out there, and there's a moon out there, there's a sun out there, and all that. And I go, sun, moon, star. What do you mean by sun, moon, and stars? And that person, might try to explain to me, and I might comprehend their words, but I'd have a hard time understanding really what they were talking about because I'd never seen the stars, the moon, or the sun, or the sky. You see, because everything I know relates to this room in which I live. So if you can imagine this, okay, the great big universe is one giant room, but God is outside that room. So everything you and I know has a beginning and an end, has a start and a finish, a birth and a death, an origin, but not with God. He's outside the room. God is outside the room. God is so big. He's the everlasting, eternal God. He's beyond. You look back to the past and you see something going back, it starts to go outside, it vanishes. Well, God is beyond the vanishing point of the past. He's beyond the vanishing point of the future. God, as an eternal God, lives in an ever-present now, right now. That's what's so exciting. And actually, if I could make an application to this before I close this session today. Years ago, I was always in a hurry. I mean, always in a hurry. My favorite words were, I think, well, I'm nice talking to you, but I got to go. I got to go on to something else. I got something else to do. Got somebody else to talk to. Something else, a project to take care of. And a few years back, I decided to write a book, which I haven't written. And I entitled it, I'm Not in a Hurry Anymore. And I began to realize, you know what I need to do? I need to live right now. Enjoy right now. Live right now. And you know what? That has made a major difference in my life. See, God is an everlasting, eternal, right now God. And as we begin to live now, enjoy Him now, we can't control the past. It's done. The future, we have no idea. But right now, I can enjoy the everlasting, eternal God. And that's my prayer today for you, that you'll do that in Jesus Christ. you'll let Him be your eternal, everlasting right now. God bless. Have a great day.